In the headlines, group or individual risk 1 million naira fine or 6 months jail term for discrimination against persons with disability. Bandits attack Kaduna village, kill 2, abduct 50. Niger State residents defy persistent bandit attacks, patronize weekly market. And on the foreign scene, Lebanon Minister Kordahi resigns to resolve Saudi dispute. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust Television. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. And now the news in detail. Since 1992, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is being celebrated on 3rd of December every year. The day aims to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the dignity, rights and well-being of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Discrimination against persons with disability attracts 1 million naira fine in Nigeria for a group, and for individuals it attracts 1 million naira fine or a 6 months jail term. In this report, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail narrates the story of a young Nigerian who aspires to be a professional journalist despite his blindness. The report.
This is Babangida Abubakar, a 20-year-old visionary blind student of Gombe Special Education Center who defied many challenges associated with people living with disabilities. Born in Akkoloku government area of Gombe State, Babangida got blind when he was a year old. It took his parents years of struggle finding a cure to no avail.
Mun yi iyakacin kokari da neman magunguna dai Allah bai sa aka dace ba saboda mun bi na bangaren abun nan daga general mun bi har abun ya kai ga medical center mun je can ma Allah dai bai sa aka yi nasara ba daga nan dai sai muka hakura kabarwa Allah.
The talented young man was enrolled into Special Education Center Gombe for Western and Islamic knowledge.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا وسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا.
Despite his condition, Babangida has developed passion for journalism. To achieve his dream, Babangida engaged in rigorous self-practice of writing Hausa poems and news bulletin rehearsals.
Ƙungiyar ƙwallon ƙafa ta Barcelona ta sayi Memphis Depay da kuma Sergio Aguero da Harry Garcia dan Manchester City. Kuma ina sha'awar yin wa'innan labaru in zamanto mai labaru ni ma ina farkar da al'umma kan bangarori daban-daban.
The principal of Gombe Special Education Center admires Babangida's talent and called for people's support.
He's a very intelligent, creative and a very focused student who has a great passion of journalism. So if his potential is properly harnessed in a very appropriate manner, he will surely be a very productive and intelligent and dedicated journalist. I call upon individuals and his parents to see how they would help him achieve his goals and realize his ambition.
For Babangida Abubakar and other talented people living with disability, there is always ability in disability. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
About 1 billion people are experiencing disabilities around the world. The prevalence is higher in developing countries such as Nigeria, which has over 27 million people living with disabilities, who are mostly subjected to untold hardships. The United Nations in 1992 declared 3rd December every year as an International Day for People Living with Disabilities, with the sole aim of creating awareness to promote their rights and well-being. In Katsina, Trust Television News correspondent Abdullahi Ahmadi speaks to people with disabilities on challenges they face on a daily basis.
Katsina State, which accounts for over 800,000 persons living with disability, mostly in urban and rural areas, decries lack of awareness, stigmatization and unhealthy practices are some of the major challenges facing the disabled. Though there is a special improvement in the area of inclusiveness, especially in politics, education and other economic activities, people living with disabilities in Katsina State lament what they described as marginalization by the society and other stakeholders. They call on government and other corporate bodies to make special consideration for persons living with disabilities by removing the economic barriers for them in health, education and access to loan facilities to move them out of poverty. We have been neglected, stigmatized and abandoned. The society is looking down at us. We need to be supported. As you can see, we are waiting for food to be brought by a philanthropist. It is a daily hustle to put body and soul together. As you see me so, you can glaringly understand that I am weak and tired. I need rest, but that is impossible, as I have to look forward to it. If I get this lunch, I'm not sure where to get my dinner. That is me as you see me so here. Similarly, the people living with disabilities described their living condition in the face of insecurity, post-COVID-19 and climate change as pathetic. Alhaji Dahiru Gambo is the chairman, while Tukur Lirwanu is the secretary of the Association for People Living with Disabilities in Katsina State.
And our people will not left behind in suffering because they are part of the community that have been affected by these activities of banditry and others. So whenever you can imagine, as a person with visual impairment, as a person with hearing impairment, as a person with physical disability, an amputee or poliomyelitis, whenever there is an arrest, civil arrest in the society, people are looking away.
It's our day, and it is a day of people living with disability to call people for stopping for discriminating us and showing us that we are not people like everybody.
In recognition of their vulnerability, the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Aminu Bello Masari on people living with disabilities charged parents and the society to take full responsibility of people with special needs, as government alone cannot shoulder the burden.
The major challenges we are facing is discrimination. Discrimination and stigmatization. It is the ones that cause problem or challenges to our people, as more especially in regard to the family issues and the society, and also even market. Whenever you are disabled or physically challenged in your family, you can face many challenges in your family. Although your parents can send your brothers into school, maybe the school that is have qualitative education, but being you as a disabled, so they can even abandon you in the house or to leave you in the house. Being you as a disabled, they cannot help you to go to school.
However, calls for more collaboration between all the stakeholders in taming the challenges being experienced by the people with special needs to move the society forward. The theme for this year's celebration is leadership and participation of persons with disabilities towards an inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. From Katsina, Abdullahi Ismail reporting for Trust Television News.
Meanwhile, the 2021 theme for the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is leadership and participations of persons with disabilities towards an inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. In line with this, Trust TV's Aisha Salihu speaks to some Nigerians about the living conditions of persons living with disabilities.
The International Day of Persons with Disabilities, marked on December 3rd, has two primary goals: to promote the full and equal participation of persons with disabilities and to ensure the inclusion of persons with disabilities in all aspects of society and development. According to the World Health Organization's 2020 World Disability Report, over 1 billion people live with some form of disability. Many of them face a number of human rights abuses, including stigma, discrimination, violence, and lack of access to healthcare, housing, and education. In Nigeria, there are 31 million people living with disabilities as disclosed by the National Commission for Persons with Disability. Musa Ahmadu speaks about the challenges he faces as a person living with disability.
My whole life, as I am physically challenged person now, so no matter of two, I am in hard condition. So as I'm telling you right now, the place that I am staying in Karmajiji. There is one place we physically challenged people that we are staying. But the life is hard. Sometimes, even to pay children's school, sometimes they will pursue my children from school to the home if I didn't pay the school fees. So in this business, as I am telling you before, everything is moving forward. But right now, at least now, sometimes when I came here, from morning to now, I'm not selling any single phone. Before I am selling only phones. That is the reason I joined charger, earpiece, memory card. Even though I not sell this one, sometimes I can sell this one. So I will get water, I will eat, and to go and feed my family.
Meanwhile, some Nigerians also expressed their thoughts on the living conditions of persons living with disabilities in the country.
It's so sympathetic, because why I say that is that Nigeria doesn't even care for Nigeria don't even look whether they exist or they are not exist. But if it is a country that knows their citizens and know that these people they can't do anything, they would have to place them monthly payments.
The government should just do something about them by empowering them, opening maybe a foundation where they can be helped, you know. So because the rate of disabled people in Nigeria today is too high.
They should be carried along because most of them are educated too. So we can see they are even the one that boasts our Olympic and one went for our athletics for football for our athletics last time. So they are the one even got gold medals in Nigeria. So to be carried along in anything we are doing.
In January 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Act. This act states that public organizations shall, as much as possible, constitute at least 5% of their staff population. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Bandits attack Ungwanyimbia community in Chukwu local government area of Kaduna State, killing 2 locals and abducting 50 others. Reports indicate that the bandits invaded Ungwanyimbia in the early hours of Friday. Media reports say the gunmen visited 13 families during the attack, which lasted for about 2 hours. Amidst heavy gunshots, a resident of the area, Gideon Jato, who confirmed the attack, said the community has never experienced something as bad as this, though they have been experiencing pockets of kidnappings. He alleged that there is a mass exodus of residents of the area to safer places for fear of another attack. There is no official reaction from the authorities on the development as yet. Meanwhile, Niger State is facing persistent bandit attack almost on a daily basis, disrupting livelihood and economic system of the people. However, residents of Shiroro still converge on weekly markets despite collapse of security in the area in recent times. Zainab Bala visits Kwata Market in Shiroro local government area of the state, one of the hotbeds for bandit attacks.
Shiroro local government has been in the news in recent times over bandits attacks. But despite these challenges, many of the residents here go about their daily businesses.
This is Kwata Market, located in Zumba, Shiroro, Niger State.
It is one of the biggest markets where people converge from different communities within and outside the state. Sunday is Quarter Market Day. Bustling, people from nearby communities in large boats come to buy and sell their products. Speaking to Trust TV, some are excited to market their goods, but for others, it is pain unforgotten.
Abdulbasi daga garin Gwada sunan babana Musa dallakan kana nake yi.
Kasance ina zuwa wannan kwatan kasuwa ne saboda sana'a na shine sayar da buhu da irin abubuwan da ake sawa kamar wake, masara, dawa. Da irin abubuwa na sinadari da ake sawa a cikin wannan buhun da Allah ya bamu sa'a muke zuwa muna dan sayarwa domin kare mutuncin kanmu.
Ni ne mai suna Felicia Umaru, na fita daga Shiroro Local Government. Minerals nake sayarwa da kunu da montina da fanta. A gaskiya a ranar ta yau gaskiya nakan sayar da minerals crate 4-5, amma wannan ranar almost 1 crate ban sayar ba cikin yanayin da muke. Kukana yan wannan da suke kwanan boga suna ta gudu, amma gwamnati na ji kukanmu, suna gani abubuwa nan da suke faruwa sun ki su yi gaskiya. Amma suna ganin irin wayannan da mutanen wahalolin da suke sha, duka kauyuka nan su gama gudu. Cikin kasuwancin mu yau ma mun wahala muke fama, mun rasa yadda za mu fara. Muna roko gwamnati idan ta san Allah da suke bi, roko muke yi, kuka muke yi game da yan uwanmu da suke fama, suna faman guduwa. Kankana na yara suna kuka ba wurin kwanciya, wasu a waje suke kwana ba kudi ma bari su kama haya. Cin abinci ma wahala ne, ba su ma yada musu su yi noma bari a ci abinci ba. Kukanmu gare su, su ji kukanmu, su ji kukanmu su taya mu.
After a boat ride, a fisherman who lives near one of the communities attacked by bandits paints a grim picture.
Akan matsala da take damun mutanenmu nan, ita muke roƙon Allah Ubangiji ya kare mu. Ni dai ba taba samu na ba matsalan, gaskiya tun da aka fara ta ba taba samu na ba, Allah ya tsare. Ina nan tsallake ruwa ya raba mu da su. Ba dan ruwan ba duk inda dai Allah ya kawo sai sun shiga, ba maganar ma ruwa kawai. Duk inda Allah ya ce su shiga za su shiga. To amma Allah ya tsare mu, amma gaskiya suna damun mutane nan. Yanzu kaga nan sashen garin mu ya riga ya cika da mutane. Duka sashen nan area ya riga ya cika. In ka koma wancan dam din da aka yi sabo wurin Zangeru, shi ma na yi zama gurin ya riga ya cika da mutane, saboda duk wanda yake tsallake nan ba zaman lafiya, so sai ya dawo nan. In ya dawo nan ma hannunsa a gaba yake, ya ci da iyalinsa, ya samu ci gaba, shine babu. To gwamnati na jin kukanmu ba ta ji, Allahu a'lamu, amma matsalan ta dami mutane, ta wuce iya tunani, tunda yanzu kaga wasu wanda ruwa suka riga suka musu banna suka sha kayan aikinsu. To yanzu suna kuka da hakan, ga kuma barayi sun zo sun dame su. To ina wurin koma? An yi kuka da nan ga ruwa sannan ga barayi. Wallahi yanzu haka akwai mutane da yawa da matayensu da yaransu suna nan tsallake, abinda za a ci shine aiki. Ni na gansu, na san su suna nan tsallake, Allah kadai yawa da su. Farawa ne manoma, to ba ma irin hakan ba, a'a gwamnati za ta kawo mana tallafi, ya za a yi, gashi na sai dai a ji bom.
You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, how Foreigner wins election in Plateau. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at our top stories. In Nigeria, discrimination against persons with disability attracts 1 million naira fine for a group, and for individuals, it attracts 1 million naira fine or 6 months jail term. And bandits attack Ungwengimbia community in Chuku local government area of Kaduna State, killing 2 locals and abducting 50 others. And on to more news now. Amid rising concern over Omicron variant of COVID-19, Nigeria's representative at the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Parliament, Francis Alimekena, says intense sensitization is required to increase the rate of vaccination of ECOWAS citizens. Alimekena said this in Abuja while fielding questions from journalists in response to Nigeria's country report at the ongoing 2021 second ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament. He said efforts are being made to vaccinate 80 million Nigerians before the end of 2021. He stressed the need for increased sensitization on vaccination as most people still think the vaccines are unsafe.
You know, for us to achieve that 80% vaccination in Nigeria is a bit difficult because there is sort of sentiment about this vaccine. Some people, religion, some people maybe brainwashed to say there's no point for you to take vaccine and that the vaccine, they have some this thing. But you know that even the head of state, they are taking the vaccines. All the head of states in the country, even in Nigeria here, the president, the vice president, all other people, they're taking the vaccine, which means that the vaccine is good for everybody. You could see yesterday in the house, in the Federal Civil Service, they said if you don't have vaccine, you should not enter the office. Then if they maintain such posture to say public gathering, if you don't have this, you will not enter, then you can achieve that 80% target. And maybe probably we talk to the religious people, the Muslim community, the Christian community to echo it so that they could drum it to the people in their congregation that it is good to be vaccinated. Because of the number of vaccines, there are some local government that they don't have vaccine. And it is the work of the government of that state to supply all the vaccines. And two, like members, as we said, members of National Assembly, is to tell the members they are constrained to go back and do this vaccine. That is the only thing they can do.
Professor Ishaku Tanko is elected Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, following a keenly contested election held in November. It is the first time a non-Plateau indigene is elected as substantive Vice Chancellor of the institution. Speaking on assumption of office, the new Vice Chancellor vows to ensure unity and progress of the institution. Trust TV's Ado Musa now reports.
Right from the beginning of the process, that the process be...
Isha Tanko is a professor of computer science hails from Kebbi State. The election of the new VC has degenerated heated debate which rocked the university into leadership crisis as a result of contention of who and where the VC should come from. Professor Tanko now faces a great challenge of putting the house into order.
We have other issues, and some of the issues that we have are issues with respect to funding, which he has also mentioned. There's no money to do some of the things that we're supposed to do. I call you some of my colleagues, that we need to put on our thinking hats with respect to what we can do different. And that's why I started with the concept of change. What we can change and what we can do different in order to generate the revenue that the university is required or needs in order to undertake quality teaching, quality research, and the research that is impactful to the society, local, national, and global.
After the demise of the Pro-Chancellor of the university, Prince Tony Momo, there was argument over who will lead the panel for screening of the applicants seeking for the position of the new VC. Such crisis necessitated a quick appointment of an acting VC, Professor Gray Gozem Ejikem, to avoid leaving a vacuum. The immediate acting VC handed over the reins of power to the substantive principal admin and academic officer of the university.
I assure Senate that the will of God will be done in the University of Jos during the short period aside. And before God, who sees the heart of me, I'm telling you that with the fear of God, love of God, we ensure my colleagues will work cooperated to ensure that the University of Jos, the will of God, is done.
Now, the task of ensuring peace and unity as well as progress of the university lies on the shoulder of the entire management under the leadership of Professor Ishaya Tanko. Ado Abubakar Musa, Trust TV News from Jos.
And on the foreign scene, Lebanon's Information Minister George Kordahi has resigned. Kordahi, whose criticism of the Saudi-led military campaign in Yemen against the Houthi rebels sparked a diplomatic crisis, says he will not accept being used as a reason to harm Lebanon or Lebanese in Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries. Kordahi said Prime Minister Najib Mikati told him earlier this week that his resignation will be a prerequisite for French President Emmanuel Macron to discuss the diplomatic crisis with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh and diffuse tensions between Lebanon and the kingdom. Macron on Friday began a Gulf tour that will see him visit Qatar, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. And that concludes News Update for tonight. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for staying with us.